Hello, my name is Elijah Burkholder. One of the biggest struggles I see in charity work is the lack of truly satisfying the hunger of those in need. Merely giving food or money to someone in need is simply not enough. They also need a place of belonging. People hunger for more than just food in their stomachs. Charity should be addressed with holistic care of the individual's physical, emotional, and spiritual satiation. This I believe. My life experiences have been in general very plain. I've grown up in a lower middle class family with both parents in a very ethnically homogenous community. I never wanted for anything essential like food or heat or running water, but eventually I began to notice something. First, it happened to one of my distant relatives, then to my mother's cousin, then my great grandfather. They had died. This is to be expected, of course, due to age, and my family has struggled with drug addiction, but death eventually loomed closer to me. I was a witness to the fallout of some vicious bullying that had happened to someone very close to me. The lack of action, communication, and institutional support from the school, mental health effects like depression and suicidal thoughts, witnessing all of this affected me very deeply. I personally teetered precariously between, just fury and hopeless despair. I began to harbor a deep hatred and distrust of traditional authority figures like teachers and the police. I saw them as liars and cowards and morally bankrupt individuals who only cared about exercising their own power over others. At a certain point, I made up my mind that I would become an anarchist because of how clearly the system had failed someone I loved so deeply, someone who was innocent. No one could tell me what to do because no one had the right to. I am my own master. I'm not a slave to anyone. But then eventually death came close to me. I overturned my truck coming back from class in mid October of 2023. I, by all accounts, I should have died, but I was still alive. Uh, Not even a scratch on me. I remember the confusion, the hurt, the anger, the survivor's guilt, the question of why me? There are more deserving people. It was later that month that I had given my life to Christ. What I slowly began to realize was that I was starving, aching for something that would not be satisfied by anything of this world. I had all the food I wanted. I had all the entertainment I wanted. Pleasure was always a few clicks away, and even if I had gotten the true freedom that I wanted through anarchism, I would still what then? I'd still be empty. No matter what, it wouldn't chase away the specter of death that loomed large over every aspect of my life. I would die someday, and that would be that. No one would remember me. No one would care. After coming to faith in Christ, I began to go back to church. Personally, I was terrified. What would they think? I've done terrible things, been a terrible person, wished terrible things upon people, and I didn't want to be that angry, hateful person anymore. I wanted to be a part of something pure, beautiful, genuine, and meaningful. And the one place that accepted me as I was and didn't flinch when I confessed was the church. I didn't need food. I didn't need money. I needed a transcendent hope that in this life or the next, things will get better, that I am loved and accepted, that I can be more than what I am now. Before coming to Christ, I didn't think much of charity. I always figured people would either use it to aggrandize them and enrich themselves, or might occasionally do some good and feed some people or keep the lights on. But that was few and far between. People are people, and you know how they are. But now I realize something far more important. That addict on the street, that person who's given up on finding a job, that convict who doesn't know how else to get by, I am them and they're me. They needed what I needed. As I've gone through this course, I've gotten a better understanding of DEIB concepts and beliefs. As a Christian, I can't be true to myself and my faith if I say I stand for them. They're not a direct result of biblical or church teaching, and therefore, I don't believe that they have any more moral obligation or authority than any other man made philosophy. But what I have noticed is behind the secular humanism that guides DEIB is a desire for the good and betterment of society. I sincerely hope that DEIB is Christianized. I hope they trade the laissez faire attitude towards religion and rejection of transcendent morality for a strong belief in Christ. And I can see the fervent pursuit to clothe the needy, feed the hungry, comfort the sick, remember the alien, orphan, and the widow, and just do good. In my personal life, though, I will remember the poor wounded soul I used to be, and frankly still am, and offer the same grace, acceptance, and forgiveness to all that I was freely given. In my workplace, I will continue to nurture my athletes and my kids and the kids in my youth group in a way that they know it's okay to struggle, to reach out for help. In my community, I will work towards reaching more souls for Christ by being the hands and feet, by helping those with a servant's heart. I'll develop this vision by being open to the diversity in all backgrounds. I'll work for the equitable outcome of a genuine, heartfelt faith in Christ. I'll include new believers and those questioning their faith and demonstrate to all the place of belonging that is promised by God in Christ Jesus. Christ reigns and death is defeated. God bless and keep you all.